From Ann Arbor, Michigan, Yost Ice Arena. We're going to have a hot one here tonight for WCBN Sports. Gabby Miller, I'm John Tondora, and we're going to have to see if the Wolverines can complete the sweep against the Fighting Irish, what would be their first at-home sweep of the season. Gabby, what do you got for us?
I think it would be really exciting for them to get their first sweep of the season. We've seen them have some really tough components and competitors this season so far, and they have not been able to clinch that season sweep or the two-game sweep. So it'll be really exciting to see them get it this weekend. Exactly
right. Michigan looking to polish off their first Big Ten series of the year. On the other end, Notre Dame looking to salvage their second of the season, splitting with Wisconsin last weekend. Now trying to see if they can make a little bit of magic of their own happen after an overtime win. Man of the hour was Evan Werner last season. We're just about to hear from Puck Drop. Gabby, what do you see as being the difference maker tonight?
I think Notre Dame's really trying to capitalize on a few different strategies and taking, for right off the bat, they have a new starting lineup coming in this game. Trying to switch up some things, trying to work with some new components, really get something started here. I think the Wolverines can really capitalize. They had really good defensive shape yesterday, really shutting down. Shot differential was insane yesterday. They really just couldn't get any in. They can play like that way again, they can probably sweep this series.
We'll have Danny Nelson up against TJ Hughes. The lines for Notre Dame staying all the same except for Jaden Kerr slotting in for Henry Nelson on defense. Brennan Ali now racing into the offensive zone. He drops one off for a shot by Cole Knuble. That one saved. Wolverines unable to clear it now. Working up at the point is TJ Hughes. He takes it onto center ice, bounces it off the edge, and he'll bring it into the offensive zone. An errant pass for Jackson Hallam, and now it's back into the hands of Ali, who dumps it down into the offensive zone for a quick change. Jacob Truscott here, captain of the Wolverines. Dumps it in. Nick Moldenauer along the far side boards, battling for it. It comes back to Michael Hage, who shoots and scores!
Polar opposites of yesterday. Took a little time for them to get something happening.
One shot, one goal. Michael Hage, the freshman, take a lap and a bow.
Wow, complete opposite of what we were seeing yesterday. Really soft somewhere. Going to be a face-off between Slaggert and Hage. Edwards building up from the back. Edwards building up from the side. Building out of the neutral zone, Werner. Broken up by the backs. Oh, and they get possession again. Firm on the board. Another shot. Oh! Oh! And another goal! I can't see. Sorry, folks. We're having some technical difficulties here.
Working through it.
Working through it, but it appears we have another Michigan goal here. We're getting confirmation on who shot it.
Looks to be Evan Werner.
It does look to be Evan Werner. Possibly assisted by Felicio. It's going to be another puck drop here, another face-off.
Evan Werner, 2 goals in 2 attempts. Michigan, complete polar opposites of last night.
Complete polar opposites. We really couldn't get anything. They really couldn't get anything started there until the second period and build more momentum into the third. Same with Notre Dame. But right here, right now, it looks like they're really capitalizing, and it looks like we're going to have another face-off here on these neutral dots.
If you're just tuning in, that's Michigan 2, Notre Dame 0 on 2 shots, 2 goals for the Wolverines.
Looks like it's going to be face-off here between Hughes and Strawn.
Neutral zone face-off won by the Wolverines. They'll dump it down low, chasing after it, anything going. But just like that, we've got a completely different ball game.
Completely different ball game today. I mean, yesterday it was borderline of snooze fest watching the first period. Nothing was really going on for either team. It was just really chippy, scrappy hockey. Nothing was really getting built up for no great opportunities were made. But it looks like today they're really trying to capitalize, and it's working pretty well for the Michigan Wolverines so far. 2 goals pretty early on. Not even at 17 minutes yet, so pretty good start for the Wolverines here.
As good as they could have drawn up. 17 minutes to go here. Josh Ernest brings it up to center ice. Dispossessed. It'll go onto the stick of Notre Dame. Chasing after it now is Jaden Kerr, a defenseman for the Fighting Irish. Battling for it behind the net, recovered by Jacob Truscott in the defensive zone for the Wolverines. He'll chip it up and out of danger and back onto the stick of Blake Biondi. Biondi now sending it up to Hunter Strand. He can't connect. Josh Ernest, we've called his name a number of times tonight, recovers and dumps it in back down low. After a brief change now, we'll see Hunter Haiti pick it up behind the net for the Wolverines. An errant pass misses, and that'll go onto the stick of Silyanov. Now behind the net, Hunter Haiti and Tanner Rowe. Rowe collects it for the Wolverines, but unable to escape the breakout. Ian Murphy now on the near side left boards. Going right to left are your Notre Dame Fighting Irish, looking for an answer here after an early onslaught of 2 goals by the Wolverines. Luca Fantilli now behind his own net, sends it up to Hunter Haiti. And finally, the Wolverines break out. William Whitelaw, he'll take it himself, racing into the far side boards, attempts a deke, cuts in front of the net, and poked away by Owen Say. Now back at the point, Tim Lavelle attempts a shot. That one gloved away by Owen Say. An excellent save for what was a wonderful performance last night by Owen Say, Gabby.
Honestly, terrific performance by him. I'm shocked to see 2 shots go in or sneak past him so far. Really phenomenal goaltender, I can't lie. Really excited to see how he can step up and push his line and fix the defense up here. Really, aside from the shot difference and the score, Notre Dame having really good advantages in their offensive zone.
Face-off tie-up and chipped up and out of play. We'll have another offensive zone face-off for the Wolverines. I couldn't agree more, Gabby. This is a little uncharacteristic for Owen Say. He boasts a .960 save percentage on the season, only giving up 2 goals last night, one of which was a redirect and the other off a rebound. So it's hard to get Owen Say at first glance.
It is.
Marcus Stappa facing off against Danny Nelson. Brennan Ali will pick it up onto the stick and take it out for Notre Dame. That's Ethan Edwards now possessing the puck. He'll send up a pass, tape to Garrett Shifsky, who shoots. And right into the chest of Owen Say. And we've got a little bit of action here, Gabby.
We've got a little bit of brawl going on. It appears to be between Truscott and some of the Fighting Irish defensemen. Got broken up pretty quickly here by the refs, but the children of Yost still seem to like that.
We saw tensions rising last night. We'll have to see if they inevitably boil over.
We actually didn't see a fight until later on yesterday, too, so a lot of different momentum shifts from the game we saw yesterday already. But again, it is crazy to see Say already letting 2 goals sneak by him, especially after yesterday, goals really not being very faulty for him.
Uncharacteristic indeed, as we'll have an offsides call now on the far offsides dot, bordering the Notre Dame defensive end. We'll have Hunter Strand on Michael Hage. Hage, the early goal scorer alongside Evan Werner tonight. 15:31 to go in this first period, as Strand will be the better of that face-off. And an errant pass will put it onto the stick of the Wolverines. Will Felicio, he's seeing his first attempt. Now a shot saved. That was an attempt by Evan Werner.
Owen Say looking a little bit more characteristic for himself there. Maybe the Fighting Irish just needed a little wake-up call.
Definitely needed a moment to settle in. We'll stick with Hage and Strand on the near face-off dot in the offensive zone for the Wolverines. Strand wins that one again. It'll be tipped up and out of play, and the puck will skitter back all the way to Cameron Corpy. Corpy in for Logan Stein tonight after Stein's excellent play in net last night. The Wolverines will attempt to break out now. Michael Hage dumping it in, recovered by Owen Say. He'll do it himself. An attempt to pass. That one will land onto the stick of Justin Janicki on the near side boards. He'll try and skate it up.
Taking a moment to come back to Corpy, it's really impressive to see him showing up this season and really putting out good stats out there, especially for being a freshman. He's really showed out this season.
Most definitely. Cameron Corpy has had a level of composure that would impress any goalie coach, I'm sure, especially working in the NCAA and the strength of the Big Ten schedule. Now that's Silinoff racing down the near side, a shot saved. Short side shot, now to go back up to the point for Mastro Domenico. He'll attempt to slap her. Looked like it went off the mask of Corpy. It'll be back for the Wolverines' way. Jackson Hallam racing in on the near side. He'll stop up, attempts a pass down the middle. It'll be gloved away by Say, and it'll be iced. Josh Ernessy now getting in the mix.
Gotta love to see how heated it's getting pretty early on here.
These two teams don't like each other.
A little bit of bad blood here.
Certainly, it might not be the football field, but Notre Dame and Michigan, of course, still a storied rivalry. The winged helmets against the gold tops. Always fireworks when these two meet up. We'll have TJ Hughes against Danny Nelson, recovered by Notre Dame. Cole Knuble now racing it up. He'll send it to Brennan Ali. Ali attempts a short side shot. That one saved with ease by Cameron Corpy. And again,
another scuffle breaking out here.
Hunter Haiti now exchanging some words with Cole Knuble. And with 13:57 to go, folks, Gabby, you can feel the tension starting to rise a little bit.
Tensions are high. Notre Dame looks a little frustrated here. They do not like the way those first 3 minutes set off this first period. They do not think that should be the tone of the game at all. Honestly, the rest of this game, aside from the score, very even contenders. They're playing pretty similarly. No one is really outshining anyone, to be completely honest. Michigan just came out explosive, which we have yet to see this season.
Most definitely. We'll have Garrett Shifsky facing off against Danny Nelson now after the save by Cameron Corpy. This will be on the near side face-off dot in the offensive zone for Notre Dame. Shifsky wins it back, but it's recovered by the Fighting Irish. Up to the point now, but it'll be dispossessed by William Whitelaw, and he's on a break. Whitelaw, outside shot, saved! And we'll have a call here. A penalty on Notre Dame. A slashing call. And we'll get a look at the replay here. William Whitelaw racing in on the break. And oh yeah, Paul Fisher.
Definitely a good call by the officials there. Definitely a little slashing call there, but Owen Say, again, with a good save, starting to definitely look more like himself now.
Say sticks out that right pad, but Paul Fisher tried to get his money's worth at the end of that breakaway. All the same, with 13:42 to go, it'll be 2 minutes for the Wolverines on the man advantage. Ethan Edwards at the point now. He'll send it down to Jackson Hallam. Hallam cross-ice pass attempted at a shot by TJ Hughes. Backhander sticked away. Now Michael Hage on the far side. He drops one off for Jackson Hallam in front of it. There's a scramble for the puck. And it'll come back out to the far boards. That's Michael Hage. Now back behind the net is Garrett Shifsky. Shifsky over to Hage. Hage, Edwards, a shot from the point. That one saved away by Say once again. And Notre Dame will clear it.
Shifsky, I mean, leading goal scorer this season so far, but really stepping up today, being a good playmaker. He's setting everyone up, very selfless. I think he's really helping Michigan show up as a really aggressive and offensive team right now. We haven't really seen that much this season until later on in the game.
Garrett Shifsky, the sophomore from Andover, Minnesota, only listed at 5'9", definitely plays bigger than that. Neutral zone faceoff won by the Wolverines. And Evan Werner will receive the slingshot as they attempt to break in. And we'll have an offsides. Werner dispossessed of the puck at the blue line. Won't go. So 1:15 here left and 13 minutes in the second period. 1:15 on the man advantage, that is, for the Wolverines. If you're just tuning in for WCBN Sports, John Tondora and Gabby Miller, we appreciate you listening. Of course, there was potentially a more important Michigan event that just recently concluded. The Wolverines in Bloomington unable to capitalize on what looked to be an upset bid. Wolverines setting up in the offensive zone now. That's Evan Werner at the top of the near circle. He'll rip a shot off the post. And the puck will come skittering back out to center ice. Tim Lavelle will recover and leave it for Werner once again. Werner attempts to take it himself, racing down the near side boards. He'll stop up and send it back up to the near point to Tim Lavelle. Lavelle, other side. Now in front of the net, Nick Moldenauer can't control it. Evan Werner attempts a pass. Will Felicio recovers, and back up to the point it goes. Felicio at the far side point. He'll send it back down low to William Whitelaw. Whitelaw working it in. Felicio to Lavelle. Lavelle steps in a little bit closer and sends it back up to the point to Felicio, who attempts his shot but won't go. And now Danny Nelson on the forecheck takes the puck all the way to back behind Cameron Corpre's cage for the Wolverines. And it'll take 3 Michigan players to repossess it before they can start back on the attack. Marcus Stoppa here. He'll stop up and send a pass up to neutral ice. Notre Dame successfully killing off the penalty. Still down 2-0 though, with 11:39 to play. Luca Fantilli pinches into the offensive zone, but Slaggert will bring it up and take it around him. Notre Dame breaks into the offensive zone and dumps it in down low. That's Hunter Strand working behind the net now. He's pressured by Fantilli. Josh Ernest joins in on the fun. The puck rolls into the corner, near side corner that is for the Wolverines, and still no breakout. Zach Polsinski, he'll dump it in down low from the point. Another battle in the boards. You can see these teams fighting for every single inch. Hunter Strand now sends one over to Janicki. Janicki takes it himself behind the Wolverines' cage. Marcus Stoppa attempts to interact with Janicki on the far side boards, and we'll have another penalty coming the Fighting Irish's way.
Fighting Irish really emphasizing the fighting in that term today, but looks like it's gonna be another penalty, as you said, and getting new shifts in here as well.
That'll be a boarding call on Notre Dame's Justin Janicki on Marcus Stoppa. And now the Wolverines will have another 2 minutes on the man advantage. Gabby, certainly not how they drew up this first period.
Really isn't. I mean, the last 2 minutes, they really were dominating. It was fully in their offensive zone the whole entire 2 minutes. I think they can really capitalize here. They had those 2 minutes. They know what they're doing. They have it routine now. They're absolutely locked in this formation and working around Notre Dame, tiring them out with all the passing. I think they could really capitalize here.
TJ Hughes on Danny Nelson. Hughes wins it back, but nobody's home. And Michael Hage will have to go back into the neutral zone and pick it up himself. Ethan Edwards now with the puck. He'll send it up to Jackson Hallam, racing down the far side boards. He'll be dispossessed. And Notre Dame will clear it. Edwards again back in the defensive zone, recovers the puck for the Wolverines. Edwards looks to do it himself. He'll send a pass down the tape to TJ Hughes. TJ Hughes sauces one back into Edwards, but nothing will happen, and he'll bring it around the net, and we'll have yet another penalty.
Wow. That one got a little bit of an uproar. It looked rather close to Edwards' neck, high sticking around the neck or something, so a lot of uproar here, as you can hear. Well, we thought the Wolverines had an opportunity to capitalize before. John, how are you feeling now?
It'll be a...
Oh.
We'll have a dual penalty call here. That will be hooking on Michael Mastrodomenico. Ethan Edwards with a little too heated of a response. And so they'll be offsetting penalties. The Wolverines will stay with 1 minute and 24 to go on a singular man advantage, it seems. But to go back to your question, Gabby, certainly a heated game, certainly one that has seen a little bit more action than last night, it appears.
I'd have to agree. I mean, coming over all the games we've had this season, everyone's been really, really itching for some fighting and some action at these games. And this is like the most we've gotten so far. This looks like a complete different team on both sides from yesterday.
They'll have to watch themselves going forward. TJ Hughes is kicked out of the dot, but Michael Hage wins it back. And now the Wolverines have the chance on offense. That's Hughes at the point, sends it to the far side to Tim Lavelle. Lavelle down low to Shifsky, back up to Lavelle. Now over to Hughes, he'll step in, fires a shot, saved by Owen Say. Now Lavelle recovers it at the point, back to Hughes. Hughes looking for a pass, that'll be intercepted by Slaggert. And Notre Dame will break out. Hunter Strand working with the puck now, attempts to push it into the Michigan defensive zone, but nothing doing. Shifsky now taking it himself, bringing it into the offensive area for the Wolverines. TJ Hughes now at the point. He'll attempt to chip it in down low. Working alongside the near boards now is Shifsky. Joining him is Jackson Hallam. The puck skitters all the way down into the corner boards before a Wolverine sends it back up to Tim Lavelle at the point. Now a shot comes in, blocked away by Axel Kumlin, and he'll send it all the way back down. And with 13 seconds to go, the Wolverines will have one last try for a rush here on offense. William Whitelaw now works behind the cage, sends a shot in front. Tanner Rowe working alongside Say, tries to...
Really good stick handling there by Rowe. Really had Say working around, trying to quickly maneuver back and forth. But as you mentioned yesterday, I believe, John, you were talking about the influence of Hallam being fully healthy and recovered this season. Do you want to talk a little bit on that?
Certainly, Jackson Hallam, as we talked about last night, Brandon Arado describes him as a Ferrari without brakes. Both of his parents, well acclaimed. I believe they were Olympians, track stars in their own right. He has a sister who also runs Division I track. The speed is real, and it's baked even into the DNA. And I think it's something you can certainly see have an impact every single night, Gabby.
I agree, especially tonight. I think it's really impacting the whole team. We're seeing a lot of explosiveness and a lot of aggression and a lot of offensive opportunities that we have yet to see a lot this season.
Always have to keep an eye on Jackson Hallam. As although the time has expired on the penalty, that's Michael Mastrodomenico and Ethan Edwards still in the box for their joint offsetting penalties. 8:42 to go here in the first period. Michigan leads 2-0 over the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Shots 11-4, but it's been the way of the Wolverine thus far, Gabby.
It has. Which, again, I know we keep saying it. It's really just a theme, though. We have not seen them have this much opportunity and this many chances so early on.
Certainly not the game that Notre Dame likes to draw up. They like these close matchups where they're always in striking distance.
Agreed. I think really tight the whole game.
Offensive zone faceoff won by Michael Hage. A shot attempted by Luca Fantilli from the point. That'll be gloved away. And we'll have another offensive zone faceoff. You're exactly right, though, Gabby. Jeff Jackson behind the bench for Notre Dame. His 20th year at the helm for the Fighting Irish. He has instituted a gritty mentality, and it's not going away anytime soon.
I think when you think of the Fighting Irish hockey team, you got to think gritty. Oh, and it looks like they're going to have to redo this face-off here. But looking at Notre Dame's games, you really do notice a trend in these tight games, really heat the line moments. And now they're looking for a comeback, which is really out of their usual and not their completely ideal situation.
The puck comes to Jacob Truscott in the offensive zone. He'll send one in front for Evan Werner on the net front. It'll be covered up by Say once more, and the referee's quick to race in to stop any aggression.
Hey, the refs seem pretty on top of it right now. I think they've gotten a taste of what's happened to the first period and are really on guard now.
They've read a scouting report of their own. If they haven't already seen it in front of them right now.
We're setting up for another face-off here.
The far side dot for the offensive zone of the Wolverines. Marcus Stappa wins it back. And it'll be Hunter Hady dumping it in down low from the point. The puck falls onto the net front after a weird bounce out of the corner, but finally cleared by Notre Dame. Haiti again repossesses it at center ice. He'll dump it in down low. And a hardy shot there on Evan Werner. All the same, though, the puck still behind the net of Notre Dame. They'll finally attempt to get a breakout. That's Silyanov over to Strand into the offensive zone for Notre Dame. Silyanov behind the net. He sends one over to Maddox Fleming. Fleming now back to Silyanov, who can't corral it, and it'll fall onto the stick of Philippe Lapointe, who gives the Wolverines a break, but an accidental icing. So not out of the woods just yet. The Wolverines will set up in their defensive zone.
Michigan, a pretty strong defensive line going on right here. I think they've got a really good all around in all their shifts. I think they are really strong defensively, really agile, really quick. I think they must master those side-by-side motions. Oh, and a good save by the freshman there.
Corby with a nice save, and we'll stick right where we're at. Far side dot face-off. TJ Hughes on Danny Nelson. One back to Paul Polsinski. He'll take a shot. Excuse me, that's Zach Polsinski. I apologize. His partner is Paul Fisher. A little bit of a mistake there. Behind the net, Cole Knubel attempts a front side pass. It'll go skittering all the way back to Owen Say, who will play it himself around the boards, chasing after it. TJ Hughes, he won't come up with it. And finally, Brennan Ali will break it out for Notre Dame. He'll dump it in down low on the near side boards. That one scattering back around. Cole Knubel after it now. The puck falling to Axel Kumlin. Kumlin back to Knubel. Knubel with a shot. That one blocked away off the knee of Beck from the defensive end into the offensive zone for the Wolverines. A save by Owen Say.
Good explosiveness from Ernesti there, but not able to capitalize off of it and get around the defensive line. Got a shot off, but not the most strong or powerful one he was hoping for there.
Ernesti, certainly a big body, doesn't always lend itself to speed. Listed at 6'2", over 200 pounds, Ernesti is. As faceoff won by the Wolverines, but they can't control it, and they'll have to bring it back out to set at 6'2", over 200 pounds, Ernesti is. As faceoff won by the Wolverines, but they can't control it, and they'll have to bring it back out to center ice. Tanner Rowe now on the near side boards will attempt a shot. That one trickles away after the redirect. Now Garrett Shifsky on the far side corner. Shifsky working at it alongside two Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Finally now the puck corrals back out onto center ice, and it's possessed by Ryan Hilliwell. Hilliwell now to Master Domenico. Back to Helliwell. He'll back skate into the defensive zone before he connects with Ian Murphy for a pass. Notre Dame content to take it slow here now. It's Hilliwell still. He'll send a pass to Blake Biondi, who gets tied up with Luca Fantilli. The puck picked up by Michael Hage. He'll stop, does a nice deke. He'll send a Notre Dame Fighting Irishman to the floor. Hage now a shot, poked away by Owen Say, and finally Notre Dame can repossess and dump it out of danger.
Hage putting on a show there for a second there. Some absolutely disgusting stick handling. Leaving the Fighting Irish, as he said, on the ice. Completely opening up the rink.
Michael Hage, that's the danger he brings. He puts on the brakes and puts the Fighting Irish on their behind on the ice. That one couldn't feel good. Hage now, he'll stick out to take the face-off against Hunter Strand. Strand wins that one back. That's at least the third or Strand on Hage. Jeff Jackson of Notre Dame certainly liking that. Brennan Ali, who races into the offensive. Working behind the net now, it's Hunter Haiti. He'll send it to Evan Warren. They'll send it over to the other side. It'll be intercepted by Phil Lapointe, who will bring it in on the far boards. Lapointe now laying the body against Axel Kumlin, attempting to work it on the far corner. Back up to the point now, it's Ethan Edwards. Edwards back to Will Felicio. Felicio attempts a shot. That one patted away by Say. Marcus Stappa now behind the net. Working along Axel Kumlin. Kumlin sends it up to Carpenter, who will bring it into the offensive zone for Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish always content to work it slow here. 3:45 to go in this first period. They'll need to make something happen relatively soon if they want to have any opportunities. Thomas Daskis now of the Wolverines. He was not a name we had the opportunity to call last night, but in nonetheless for the Wolverines. Daskis loses it, and it's back to center ice. TJ Hughes repossessing the puck, tries to send it to Josh Ernest, but it'll be intercepted by Cole Knuble. Knuble working now, leaves it for Ali, a shot and a goal!
Lovely goal from the Fighting Irish there, right, upper right corner. Really snuck through the freshman Corpy.
A top red shot by Brennan Ali, who had it left for him courtesy of Cole Knuble's hard work, muscling into the offensive zone. Gabby, we've got a whole new game now.
We do. He hit top shelf, where Mama hides the cookies. But we have this is a great score for the Notre Dame to capitalize and really come back here. It's a totally different game. Capitalize and get another goal here. Michigan a little frazzled now on this return. Gonna have to see them step it up because the Fighting Irish have really all the momentum right now.
Certainly. Notre Dame recovering well after what was a brutal first 3 periods. Michigan here attempting to do a quick dump and change as Garrett Shifsky will chase after the puck into the offensive zone. Tim Lavelle and Ethan Edwards, the new defensive duo coming out for the Wolverines. But now it's Ali once more with the puck. He'll send it over onto the far boards of the Wolverines, and Notre Dame will have a change of its own. Ian Murphy now working at center ice. He'll send one over to Cole Knuble. Murphy back on his stick. He's on the near side boards, attempts a shot from a sharp angle, won't go. Now another shot fired in by Maddox Fleming. That one just goes left. Master Domenico now sending it back up to the point to Maddox Fleming. Fleming sending it in back down behind the net. We've got 5 different players working for it. Coming out the better is TJ Hughes, who receives a pass and is working one-on-one. Hughes with a deke attempts to muscle through, kick at the shot away. And the children of Yost want a call, but they won't get one.
I believe they're looking for a slashing call there, but not gonna happen.
Back at center ice, the puck goes to Luca Fantilli, and he'll send it in deep. Recovered by Notre Dame. Paul Fisher attempts a pass. That one will be tipped away by the Wolverines, and Jacob Truscott will have the ability to recover. He'll send one up the boards to Josh Ernest. Ernest sends the puck 5 feet deep and will do it himself to chase after behind the Notre Dame net. Notre Dame now, tape-to-tape pass to Cole Knuble. Excuse me, that was Blake Biondi. The 7s and the 2s getting the better of me.
They always do from up here.
Now a pass right in front for Hunter Strand. He shoots just left.
Huge opportunity for the Fighting Irish right there.
Things opening up now for Notre Dame. That's Slaggert at the point. He sends one over to Axel Kumlin, who takes a shot tipped away by Carter Slaggert, up and out of play. Suddenly, though, things starting to work for Notre Dame.
We haven't really seen the Fighting Irish come off this offensively dominant during this whole entire game so far. The first period really was Michigan really shining and being an offensive threat. It's really interesting to see how they've already had 2 huge opportunities, one being successful, one being a little to the left wide. But that one was nerve-wracking. That almost went in. That was a great shot there, but Notre Dame has all the momentum right now, that's for sure.
Hunter Strand kicking himself on the bench. He looked a gift horse in the mouth and just fires wide left. Cameron Corpy standing tall. Didn't necessarily have to make the save, but all the same, maybe the aura is what did it for Hunter Strand.
I think he was able to take a breath of fresh air there.
Certainly, as we'll have a whistle and what appears to be an offensive zone faceoff that becomes a neutral ice faceoff. Danny Nelson matched up against Mark Estapa.
Quick shift for the Fighting Irish here.
55 seconds to go. A quick shift indeed, keeping the legs fresh before we head into this first intermission.
Strategic. I mean, they have all the momentum. Why not keep it fresh? Why not keep that going?
Indeed, indeed. The box score misleading. Shot 16-7 in the way of the Michigan Wolverines. All the same, though, a lot of the juice on the side of Notre Dame as they break into the offensive zone. The puck unable to be controlled by Knubel and cleared away all the way back to Owen Say. Will have an icing.
Corbury really is appearing to stand behind his net a little bit with a lot of offensive pressure from the Fighting Irish here. Does that concern you at all, Little John?
You know, with maybe other freshman goaltenders, it could feel a little more nerve-wracking, but Cameron Corby has certainly been tested by fire early on in his young NCAA career. You're exactly right to point out, though, Gabby, not where you want to put a freshman in this situation.
Hey, I mean, he has that experience from the Null, but really showing up in his NCAA career so far.
Defensive zone faceoff won by the Wolverines. That's Dakota Room-Mullen. He'll chip it out, up and out of danger to Philip Lapointe. 30 seconds to go. Marcus Stappa bringing it in now. He'll attempt a deke, dispossessed by Jack Larrigan of Notre Dame. Larrigan chasing after it into the neutral zone now. It's recovered by Ethan Edwards off the pass from Room-Mullen. Edwards now dumps it in, tipped by Philip Lapointe to avoid the icing. And with 11 seconds to go, the Fighting Irish are content to just wait this one out with a dump, a change, and a cessation to this first period.
What an eventful first period we had in comparison to yesterday's game. Completely night and day shift here, John. What do you think?
I completely agree. It took an entire period last night just to even see a goal. Not the same here tonight. The shot by Michael Hage just a minute or so into the game. The first attempt of the Wolverines all night finds the back of the net. Just moments later, Evan Werner follows it up with a goal of his own. And now we'll have 12 minutes until the second period. Gabby, let's take it from both sides here. You're Michigan. You had this hot start, 2-1. You've lost a little bit of the momentum. You're Brandon Naurato in that locker room. What are you telling your guys to get them back into the fray?
I feel like you just got to go back to really picking up on how Notre Dame, when they were down, they just got more aggressive. They just got more scrappy. They got more gritty, going back to being gritty. I know that's Notre Dame's brand, but honestly, if I was in that locker room, I would be like, that works for them. We need to just crank it up. We need to get more aggressive. We need to keep capitalizing on these opportunities offensively, and it really shone through in those first 3 minutes, as you saw. 2 goals, first 3 minutes, unreal. If they can open up like that again, I think they'll have mostly control of the game. I just think they got a little tired, maybe.
Came out hot, hoodwinking the normally electric Owen Say to the tune of 2 goals and a 2-1 lead. Now let's flip it once more. Gabby, you're Jeff Jackson. It's your 20th season in college hockey. You're a veteran of the game. You're down 1 goal, completely different feeling than just moments into the game. How do you keep on the pressure if you're Notre Dame?
I would honestly say, to be completely honest with that team, I think they're in the better position right now. Yes, Michigan has that safety of knowing that they have that insurance goal. They are up 2-1. But honestly, you have the upper hand when you're coming right off your back. I think they have that momentum and that upper hand right now, even though the score doesn't reflect it. They have such good momentum to go into this next period and really keep that up. Michigan looked a little frantic, a little worried. They weren't really capitalizing as much in those last few minutes. But Notre Dame, again, coming with that grittiness. They really know how to pick it up.
Most definitely now. 10:30 to go tonight.
For sure.
Center, second line center for Notre Dame. He's won his fair share of faceoffs. Center for Notre Dame. He's won his fair share of faceoffs. The Wolverines taking 2/3 of total faceoffs last night. It felt at times that Notre Dame wasn't even able to generate offensive chances when you're dispossessed of the puck so soon into any play.
For sure.
Strand doing his work, his style, contributing in his own way to Notre Dame tonight.
I agree, and I think defensively for the Wolverines, another person to point out is Lavelle. I think he's really, really looking calm and composed on the puck today. I think he's just effortlessly, he'll be from the neutral zone and be very gritty and coming back absolutely aggressively to get that puck back. He wanted in that first half of the first period, I believe, he really was showing a ton of, if I lost it, I'm getting it back immediately. And it really was helping Michigan progress from it barely being in their defensive zone at first to mostly in the neutral and offensive zone for them.
Tim Lavelle, the graduate transfer out of Arizona State last season, listed at 5'9", 165. Not the biggest body you'll ever see, but as Brendan Arado will tell anyone, the game is played within 2 feet of the boards, 90% of it at least. Lavelle, not afraid to go into the dirty areas.
Not at all.
Do the dirty work, as you point out, Gabby. For WCBN Sports, stick with us here, please. About 8 minutes to go until the second period kicks off. We'll be back in 5, though. We'll do you a little bit of a deal as we look to do a little more analysis with time to go. But for now, we'll have the children of Yost and a wonderful PA sound system play you out. But back in 5. Stick with us here at WCBN Sports. Hello, hello, with just about a minute 30 to go in this second intermission. For WCBN Sports, this is John Tondora alongside Gabby Miller, a 2-1 lead for your Michigan Wolverines. Gabby with just about a minute before we drop the puck on this second period. How are you feeling? What are you seeing? How does it compare to last night?
Comparing to last night, it's insane. This is just not even, it doesn't even look like the same two teams. We've gotten so much action, so much going on, so many more fights randomly, but you know, we love to see the competitive nature here, especially between this rivalry. But we gotta see the Michigan Wolverines come out the way they did first period if they really want to step it up and get more insurance and more leeway here. Fighting Irish, we know they're going to come out gritty. We know they're going to come out physical. We know they're going to come out aggressive. It's really exciting to see both these teams, and I'm excited to see how the second period is going to pan out. We saw a little bit of a snooze fest yesterday in the first period, but today it's been honestly electric. Catching
no Z's thus far tonight at
Wide
Yost.
awake. Wide awake. I thought I was going to need an energy drink.
Exactly right. No energy drinks had.
None.
Just a little bit of wonderful excitement courtesy of two teams that are eager to recapture a little bit of that magic. For Notre Dame, looking for their first win since last weekend's Friday night victory in overtime, a 3-2 win for the Fighting Irish over the Wisconsin Badgers. For Michigan, they're looking to make it 5 consecutive wins, dating back all the way to 2 weekends ago against the US NTDP. Technically an exhibition, but against some of the best players in the world, you'll take it. Face-off one. Now on the short side of the offensive zone, that's Jackson Hallam back up at the point, sends one to Ethan Edwards. A shot from the point saved away by Say. Now Cole Knuble will take it out and out of safety, but not before a takeaway by Jackson Hallam. Back in under the front, in front shot saved once again by Owen Say. And we'll have a whistle.
Hallam again showing that explosiveness there, really just absolutely dynamic behind the net, trying to set something up. Really good take there by the Wolverines, unable to put it in the back of the net though. Looks like we have a call here, John.
Call is on Axel Kumlin. Looked to be a hooking, so not an ideal start for Notre Dame. Down a man for 2 minutes.
Maybe they took gritty a little bit too literally.
They'll have to dig this one out as we have TJ Hughes alongside Jackson Hallam, Garrett Shifsky, Ethan Edwards, and Michael Hayes, your 5 Michigan Wolverines looking to captain this power play. Hughes is kicked out of the dot. We'll have Michael Hayes sub in for him on the far side. One back by Hayes. That's to Ethan Edwards at the point. Edwards down to the corner for Hayes. A shot. That one just falls wide. The puck skitters all the way back to the point for Edwards. Edwards now with it, sending it to Hage. He'll take it to the far side and work it in down low. Hage looks around now, finds Shifsky, who fires a shot to the net front. Patted away and out of danger by Owen Say. The Wolverines now have to recollect it behind their own net. A little bit of a fast-moving puck courtesy of the new ice. And Michael Hage will pass into TJ Hughes, but an interception by Michael Mastrodomenico. And now we'll have a 2-on-1 for Notre Dame. Mastrodomenico loses it, and the puck skitters into the corner.
Just a second ago, John, you used the word recollect. I think that's a common trend for the Wolverines right now. Notre Dame, even though they are down by 1 right now, looking cool and collected. Michigan Wolverines bench, the players on here in their coaching line, all looking a little frazzled, a little stressed, high energies right now.
Certainly need that energy to be channeled into a healthier outlet if they're going to capitalize. A minute to go for the Wolverines. Evan Werner takes it into the offensive zone. He shovels a shot behind the net front, and it'll skitter all the way back to Tim Lavelle at the point. He'll send one to Nick Moldenauer. Moldenauer back up to the point to Lavelle. Lavelle back to Moldenauer. A shot saved by Owen Say and taken out of danger by Grant Sillianoff of Notre Dame. Recollected now by Tim Lavelle. Lavelle up to Will Felicio. He'll dump it in behind the cage of Say. Pressuring Zach Polsinski are the Wolverines, but not before he can clear it out of danger and back all the way. The Wolverines must restart. Will Felicio taking it into the offensive zone for Michigan. He'll send it down low to Thomas Dusz. Dusz working with Marcus Stappa, but unable to regain possession. And Notre Dame will find itself at full strength once again.
I think it's important to note that in the first period, Michigan, when they were in these opportunities where it was 4-on-5 instead of 5-on-5, they really were capitalizing. They were showing that they had the dominance there. Really, I mean, if you were able to see this and it wasn't on the radio right now, I think our listeners would agree that it didn't really look like they were in a power play position right there.
Exactly right, Gabby. Excellent play by Notre Dame on the penalty kill as Thomas Dusz sends one out of play, and we'll have a neutral zone face-off. Garrett Shifsky against the third line assistant captain Ian Murphy. One back by the Wolverines. They'll dump it in down low. Shifsky will chase after it. Unable to corral the puck. It'll go back to Ian Murphy and Blake Biondi at center ice. Biondi to Paul Fisher. He'll lose it. And it'll race all the way back to Owen Say. Both teams certainly confident to take their time and keep the puck as far away from their defensive zone as possible. Blake Biondi will dump it in and off Michigan's goaltender, Cameron Corpy. Has a little bit of cat and mouse play here from the two teams. Both sides kind of feeling each other out, not trying to take any big of risks thus far.
Agreed, and a lot of shifts, a lot of just trying to possess, honestly.
Evan Word to Ethan Edwards, who attempts a shot. That one poked away by Owen Say. One of the better opportunities this period thus far. Edwards had free hands. Evan Werner now pressuring on the forecheck in the offensive zone for the Wolverines. Now a tape-to-tape pass. Cole Knuble receives it and works into the offensive zone. He'll bring it into the far corner. Now back up to the point, but unable to be contained by Jaden Kerr. And Notre Dame will have to start once more in their own defensive end. Tape-to-tape pass to Hunter Strand at neutral ice. Strand, he'll dump it in down low for Justin Janicki. Janicki now brings it around the Wolverines' net. Drops it off for Cole Knuble. Knuble now pressured by Ethan Edwards, and he'll be dispossessed. Jackson Hallam recovers, attempts a pass to TJ Hughes. He can't control it. And now we'll have action once more into the offensive zone for the Wolverines. Janicki behind his own net, attempting to break it out. Hallam able to regain it once more at center ice. Now breaking in is TJ Hughes. Hughes working with it slowly, attempts a pass. That one's poked away by Cole Knuble once more. How many times have we called his name tonight?
He really has been a huge asset tonight.
The Flyers draft pick using every ounce of effort he can in a one-goal game, and now a clearance will fall onto a Notre Dame stick. Danny Nelson sends a pass, unable to be corralled by Blake Biondi, but a golden opportunity there, and now the Wolverines will look to respond. Jackson Hallam on the far side. He'll stop up, send it back to the point for Will Felicio, who dumps it in down low again to Philip Lapointe behind the net for the Wolverines. Marcus Stappa collects it on the far boards. He'll shovel it in front, bring it around the net side, and a save by Owen Say. Back up to the point now for Felicio. Felicio working it, attempts a tip shot. That one won't make it home, though. Marcus Stappa behind the net now. Stappa brings it into the near side boards for Dusz. Dusz working behind the net, sends a pass back up to Jacob Truscott. Back onto the stick of Dusz, a shot. It'll ricochet and score!
Some ricochet magic for the Wolverines there in the favor of them. It looked like it just St. Claudia had a hand on it, and it just ricocheted upwards and bobbled on over him. John, what are your thoughts on that goal?
Welcome to the University of Michigan, Thomas Dusz.
Wow. What a goal.
Almost like a curveball off a mistimed pass from Jacob Truscott.
Building up to that goal, we saw a lot of ricocheting happening. A little sloppy on both parts, but Michigan was really posing a lot of offensive threats there, and Destin just put something in. Not quite the way we expected it to go in, but hey, they were able to really make something happen there, whether it's a ricochet or not. Now it is 3-1 with 14 minutes to go.
3-1 indeed, and now another opportunity for the Wolverines after the neutral ice face-off. Now the puck in the offensive zone for Notre Dame. Zach Polinsky can't control it, and it'll fall onto the stick of Garrett Shifsky. A 2-on-1 here for the Wolverines. A pass by Shifsky to the net front. It won't come home, and now a slip by Ethan Edwards will dislodge the cage and put Owen Say on his behind a little bit. But a 3-1 lead for the Wolverines. Thomas Dask has played a very fruitful career at the University of Miami, Ohio. All the same, though, his first goal in maize and blue.
First goal, electric environment to have a first goal in here. Can't lie, we have a pretty packed student section here who are very excited for his first goal as a Michigan Wolverine.
Offensive zone faceoff for the Wolverines. One back by Michael Hage to Hunter Hady. Hady attempts a shot. That one deflected in front by Evan Werner. Still, though, Owen stays saying safe.
Although these teams are pretty evenly matched, I would say, John, we see a common trend from yesterday as the shot differential. Michigan typically doubling. I would say yesterday they were 2 by the end of the game, but right now 20 shots to 9 shots. Michigan's really right now dominating in their offensive zone, Notre Dame's defensive zone.
I completely agree, and back to your point on Thomas Daskis, can't come at a bigger time in the first half of the season. Those Big Ten points always so helpful. Can't look too far ahead as the Wolverines win the faceoff. That's to Hunter Hady at the far point. He'll send it in back down low, and it'll go onto the stick of Luca Fantilli, who attempts a nifty little deke. He'll keep it himself and send it down low to Michael Hage. Hage works it back to the point, sends a pass to Fantilli. Fantilli now to Hady. Hady attempts a shot. That one blocked away by Ian Murphy, and a 20-foot clearance for Notre Dame to get a change.
Getting some fresh feet out of the ice here.
Michigan looks to do the same with a change of their own. Now the puck falls onto the stick of Hunter Strand. He'll send it up to Blake Biondi, who races in down the far side and attempts a backhand shovel shot. That one falls wide. No danger for Cameron Corpy. Luca Fantilli now collecting it behind his own net. Instigates a battle along the boards with Michael Mastrodomenico. Now back behind the net for Domenico. A shot patted away by Cameron Corpy. That puck took an awkward bounce from behind the net, and we'll have a delayed penalty now as the Wolverines will finally touch it and go to their first kill of the night.
Cameron Corpy, we've said it several times here today. Although he's a freshman, he really does not act like it. Very aggressive there.
That'll be a tripping call on TJ Hughes. And the Wolverines will face off against a Notre Dame power play that came in as #1 in the Big Ten last night, Gabby.
You're right about that, John. Let's see if they can make something happen here.
Danny Nelson, Justin Janicki, Cole Knuble. Your trio of forwards alongside Paul Fisher and Blake Biondi filling in on defense.
Definitely a scary lineup for a power play there.
Notre Dame's best on Michigan's best. Jacob Truscott now after the faceoff win, working it alongside the boards. Getting free hands is Danny Nelson, who rips a shot. Save by Cameron Corpy. He'll cover it up, but open and free hands. A little dangerous there.
Dangerous. He's got the confidence, but it is a little frightening for the Michigan Wolverine fandom here to have to see it. But he's really showing out today so far.
Cameron Corpy flashing the leather like an excellent third baseman almost with that glove. Notre Dame trying to cut the deficit in half. Same line here for the Fighting Irish. A tie up at the far face-off dot. It's recovered by Notre Dame. Danny Nelson again sends a pass to Justin Janicki. That one gloved away once more by Cameron Corpy. Working behind the net are the Wolverines. Finally, it falls onto the stick of Josh Ernessy, and he'll clear it out.
Janicki really almost having something happen there. Really good opportunity, just a little wide. Really big offensive threat for the Fighting Irish there.
Cole Knuble working into the offensive zone for Michigan, or excuse me, for Notre Dame. Now a tip in front of the net. That one, a scramble for it in front. And Cameron Corpy stays alive once more. A slap shot off the redirect by Cole Knuble, saved again by Corpy.
Corpy with some scrappy textbook goalkeeping here.
Now a turnover by Notre Dame, and we'll have a 2-on-1 opportunity for the Wolverines. Garrett Shifsky attempts a pass for Jackson Hallam, can't have it. And now Justin Janicki with a response. Janicki over to Cole Knubel. He'll be shoved down. Looks for a call, but none to be found. And Michigan will get a change. 30 seconds to go here on the man advantage for Notre Dame. Now up to Brennan Ali. He'll be pressured by Tanner Rowe, and the puck will fall onto the stick of Ethan Edwards. Edwards sends it up to Rowe, and he'll take it into the offensive zone himself. Philip Lapointe with free hands, an attempted saucer pass, and that one will fall into the glove of Owen Say.
Corpus stays alive in that last power play. Scrappy textbook goaltending there, but hey, he was able to keep it alive, whether they're ricochets or not. He was able to not let anything past him there. Again, impressive performance from the freshman.
Cameron Corpy doing it all himself thus far at times.
The children of Yost seem to like it too. They're holding up some Cameron Corpy support signs. And we're lined up for another face-off.
An offensive zone draw here for the Wolverines with 17 seconds to go on the penalty kill, and they'll try and hem in Notre Dame. Axel Kumlin sends the puck over to Michael Mastrodomenico, who drops it off for Maddox Fleming. Fleming will take it in himself to the offensive zone. Brings it around side the boards as Fleming battling for it now on the near side, and the puck will fall onto the stick of Kumlin. Kumlin with a pass to Grant Silionov, who attempts a shot, but it'll tip up and out of play. And as time expires on the man advantage, we'll have 5-on-5 in the offensive zone for Notre Dame.
Both teams getting a little bit of a breather here, getting to reconnect with their coaches, really trying to redial, reset. Notre Dame, again, in that same position they were a majority of the first period, John. What do you think their coaches are saying now? What do you think was the momentum from before, and what do you think it is now?
You know, we talked a lot about this last night, Gabby. I think if you're Notre Dame, you use some of that passion and see if you can turn it against this Michigan team. See if you can draw them into a penalty, draw them into making a mistake where they hurt themselves. You go up on the man advantage, you get the free hands, the opportunity to play with a little more free ice, and that's when the positive benefits start coming your way.
Absolutely agree. I think capitalizing, Michigan, like a lot of other teams, they are prone, yes, to having like unfortunate ricochets or just mistakes that really, if you capitalize on that correctly as Notre Dame, you could really use that to your benefit and really go on a quick breakaway and really make something big happen here, especially in a 3-1 game. One goal is really all it takes to shift that momentum again. We saw that in the last 3 minutes of the first period. They were in full control. I think that's really all they need right now, just one goal, one opportunity to really take back the game.
One opportunity is all it will take. (3-1) still your score, though, with 9:49 left to play. Michigan looking to close out its first at-home sweep. Had a sweep last weekend against Boston University, albeit that one on the road and outside of Big Ten play. Face-off won by Michigan, but the puck will trickle out to center ice where Kumlin will recover it. And the Wolverines will have to work out of their own defensive zone. That's Michael Hage now. He'll dump it and caddy corner it into the other end of the offensive zone. Nick Moldenauer chasing after it. And Michael Mastrodomenico will recover and bring it into the offensive zone for Notre Dame. Mastrodomenico now to Blake Biondi. Biondi dispossessed of the puck, and Michael Hage will have another opportunity as the Wolverines elect to go for a quick change. Hage now trying to keep up the forecheck pressure. He's onto the ice. Now on the near side, he'll dump it in down low. It'll careen to the other end, and back behind the net, it's recovered. Not before Brennan Ali can miss a pass.
Notre Dame not able to get a shift in here in a minute, so they're looking a little tired right now on this play.
Exactly right. The Wolverines hemming them in the defensive zone. Now Jackson Hallam with it at the point. He'll drop it off. He'll send a shot. Excuse me. I tried to predict the future a little bit. It wouldn't go.
Michigan really doing a really strong job there. Oh, another scuffle.
TJ Hughes with a little bit of a shot after the whistle.
My apologies, folks. I was trying to analyze, but got distracted by a fight there. But Michigan doing a really good job strategically leading up to the stoppage. They really were doing a good job of keeping it in their offensive zone, trying to tire out Notre Dame, not allowing them to have a shift there. Really good. And not able, their goalie was looking a little tired there too, not able to get his glove over it and just ricochets so they could keep getting shots off. Lined up for another face-off.
Face-off in the neutral zone this time. It's Carter Slaggert, brother of Landon. He's had his familiar moments for Notre Dame. He'll line up against Marcus Stappa, who wins it all the way back to the defensive zone for the Wolverines. That was a hot win by Marcus Stappa. A little too hot to handle, and he'll take it himself at neutral ice and dump it in down low. Jack Larrigan laying a big body hit on Marcus Stappa, but all the same, the puck will stay in the offensive zone for the Wolverines. Back up to the point to Jacob Truscott. He'll attempt a shot. That one broken up by Larrigan, and now a battle for it along the boards, courtesy of Thomas Daskis, Marcus Stappa, and Larrigan. Larrigan with a pass and a dump out to the offensive zone for Notre Dame. Notre Dame trying to see here if they can get something set up after a period of less than ideal offensive momentum. Now back to center ice it goes after the board battle.
I think it's interesting to note that Jack Larrigan and Marcus Stappa have been going at it today, John. I would say they've had some moments, whether they don't have the puck or not. I think they've really been going at it today, showing the aggression, showing that rivalry you were talking about earlier.
Always helpful to remember, as I'm sure you know, Gabby, these guys, other and juniors, they're not meeting for the first time.
They're not, yeah, they're not from, this is not their first encounter. They are well beyond familiar with each other, like you're saying. A lot of them playing in the NAL or like the USHL, like a ton of familiarity there.
To make it to Division I hockey, of course, a very impressive accomplishment as Blake Biondi will fire a shot from the offensive end. That one gloved with ease by Cameron Corpy, a save, and we'll have an offensive zone faceoff for Notre Dame. But still, though, as you were saying, Gabby, these people, these players, they know each other. They've grown up with one another. Perhaps some have even played on the same team, especially coming out of the Midwest.
Yeah, so for sure. A lot of them coming from the same hometown, similar areas where hockey's huge, and then growing up with them, playing in junior leagues, competitive through and through.
A tie-up on the near side, face-off here as the puck will trickle over into the corner boards and played by Biondi around the other side. Josh Ernessy there potentially getting away with a little bit of a high elbow as the puck is recovered by Hunter Strand of Notre Dame. Strand to Paul Fisher, who attempts a shot. That one doesn't get through, blocked by two Wolverines. And Garrett Shifsky will recover now. Shifsky to Josh Ernessy. Ernessy will dump it to the other side and attempt to instigate a forecheck. Ernessy on the far side boards of the offensive attempt to help possess the puck. Finally now, Grant Sillianoff recovers it for Notre Dame, but not before Ian Murphy will be pressured by Garrett Shifsky, and Maddox Fleming will have to dump it out of danger for Notre Dame. Now on the far side boards, it's Axel Kumlin over to the near side. Master Domenico, he'll dump it in. A little bit of ping pong hockey, neither team able to establish any sort of presence, as that one will be dumped away by Michael Hage and land just in front of the cage, so no icing for the Wolverines. All the same, though, onto the stick of Axel Kumlin, who will send it to Brennan Ali, who breaks it into the offensive zone. Ali, a mistimed pass. That one will go back out to center ice, where it's recovered by Evan Werner. Werner, the speedster, rips his shot, sticked away by Axel Kumlin, and an offensive zone faceoff for the Wolverines.
A minute ago you said it's turning into ping pong hockey here. I am going to have to agree with that, John. It's getting a little bit scrappy, a little bit less technical, kind of veering away from that connection and fluid connections with each other in passing. Everything's a little bit off on both teams' parts right now. I think the fine-tuning, they can either capitalize off these mistakes, but it's a little sloppy, a little rushed, a little frantic. I think just a little fine-tuning can really benefit both teams.
Offensive zone draw here for the Wolverines. One back by Danny Nelson. 5:30 and some change to go in this second period. Only one goal, courtesy of Thomas Daskis, his first as a Wolverine. As Michigan keeping it in the offensive zone now here. Jacob Truscott pinching down low, joined by TJ Hughes behind the net. They'll attempt to get something going for the Wolverines, who look to extend this lead. Now a turnover at the net front. William Lightlaw loses it. And Cole Knuble will take it out of danger and dump it down for Will Felicio of Michigan to recover. Jackson Hallam now attempting to do it himself. He'll have it taken from him by Brennan Ali, who can't control it either. As Danny Nelson will work it back into the defensive zone. Cole Knuble now a little 3-on-2 for Notre Dame. He'll work it around to the near side boards, holding it at the point now. He'll send it back over to Paul Fisher, who can't control it, and Knuble will have to recollect at center ice. Now to Jaden Kerr on the near side. He'll dump it into the glove of Cameron Corpy, and a save. Well, not a, but all the same, no shot attempt. Notre Dame will keep it in the offensive zone.
Again, Cameron Corpy looking very, very composed, even though it is in his zone right now. I just think he's really for a freshman, you don't see this much. I know he played at really high junior level, but still, it's really impressive to see someone straight off of, I believe he played for the USHL.
Now an offensive zone loss for Notre Dame. They'll have to track all the way back to the defensive end. Blake Biondi now recovers it and brings it into the zone for Notre Dame. Notre Dame attempts a shot by Biondi. That one saved once again by Corpy. As you're saying it, Gabby, Cameron Corpy showing up in these big moments. The USHL certainly preparing him.
Definitely shaped him for this. That high level of juniors, I just think it really shaped him for this. He's facing some 21-year-olds, some 18-year-olds. It's all different, but they're all at that same intense skill levels and set. They're all trained for this. They're all ready for this. He looks so calm and composed and really just unaffected, even if he can't get a full glove on anything.
Corpy, the prototypical goalie in this new era of hockey, 6'4", a big guy in the cage. All the same, though, his youth as a save by Corpy once again from a shot from the point of Axel Kumlin. Listed at 160 pounds at 6'4" is Cameron Corpy. I'm still not sure if that's a typo.
It doesn't feel right. I'm no genius here, but that does not feel right, John.
All the same, though, certainly a little more growing to do for Cameron Corpy, maybe in the future of his Michigan career.
I mean, for comparison, we just talked about how Ernest is 215 and 6'2".
Certainly a 55-pound discrepancy there. I'm no math major, but that seems pretty big.
I'm no math major, but I don't think those padding is adding that much to it.
Notre Dame winning the offensive zone face-off. They'll send a pass to the front of the net, but it'll be possessed by Dakota Rue Mullen. And Michigan will have the ability for a change, courtesy of a Josh Arnice dump. Mullen now sends it to Tanner Rowe in the offensive zone. Working for it now is Rowe. He won't control it, but the pass will fall onto the stick of Rue Mullen once again. Mullen up to Michael Hage. Hage getting double teamed now in the offensive zone. He'll drop it off for Nick Moldenauer, who attempts a cross-ice pass to Evan Werner. Werner now at the point, working it. Sends it down low to Moldenauer. Moldenauer up to Edwards. Edwards, a shot, falls just wide. And now into the net front. It's kicked away to safety to Michael Mastrodomenico, who dumps it down. And a race for the puck. Icing waved off into the defensive zone for the Wolverines. It's a battle on the near side corner. It'll be collected by Evan Werner once again. He'll dump it in, and the Wolverines will get a change. Michael Hage now battling for the puck after the new lines on the far side boards. Tape to tape, the pass goes courtesy of Notre Dame up to Grant Silionov. Silionov now sends it up to Maddox Fleming, who's working for it at the far side boards. Fleming loses it. Ethan Edwards collects and attempts a pass that goes awry. Finally regained by the Wolverines, and Edwards content to sit behind his net for a moment and take a breather as Michigan begins the breakout. Luca Fantilli now attempting a pass for Jackson Hallam that's tipped and lands onto the stick of Tim Lavelle. Lavelle now tries it again for William Whitelaw. Whitelaw bumping it at the neutrals line. And it'll be the Wolverines now with control on the offensive zone. Dispossessed by the puck are they. Brennan Ali brings it in, drops it for Cole Knuble. He'll work inside, a shot from the short side, saved by Cameron Corpy.
Again, going back to that ping pong comment, we got a little bit of that again for a second there. Back and forth, back and forth. A lot of chipping around the boards, but hey, it's seeming to work out for them. These shifts are posing to be beneficial for both teams. They're both looking a little gassed. Definitely had really high intensity and energy in that first period, and it's been a little bit more lackluster and honestly more mistake prone. Really trying to connect with passing that was just a little too far or not able to get to it. Really not connecting as well as both teams were in the first period. Do you agree with that, John?
I completely agree. 3-1 the score. Michigan still with the lead, but Notre Dame kind of clawing back in the pressure end. 19 shots now for Notre Dame to Michigan's 22.
I was just going to add with that, they're creeping up with the shot count too, so they're really trying to creep their way back into this game.
Offensive zone face-off, one back to the Wolverines. Phil Lapointe taking it now to center ice. He'll send one in down low where Owen Say will have an opportunity in front. Shot by Phil Lapointe, saved by Owen Say. He came out of the crease, but Phil Lapointe was able to collect it and fire a shot.
Great shot by Lapointe there. Really good by Say, trying to get a hand on that and ricocheting it behind him.
Dakota Room-Mullen now will send it to Josh Ernessy at the point. He'll attempt a shot. That won't go. And now a 2-on-1 opportunity for Notre Dame. Justin Janicki, he'll drop it off for Hunter Strand. Now a shot and a score!
And it is exactly like the first period, exactly what Notre Dame needed here. What did we say during the beginning of this period, John? They needed just one goal, one opportunity to get that momentum back. A little bit later in the period than it was for first period for them. But I think this is exactly what the Fighting Irish need. They just needed a goal and an opportunity, a little glimmer of hope to get them back into this game. Really just stuck past Michigan's offensive line. They capitalized off of it. Lovely shot put in the back of the net.
Excellent analysis, Gabby. And don't look now. I'll say it again. 3-2. Right in punching distance. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish have Michigan right where they want them. 38 seconds to go here, as we'll have an offsides as the Fighting Irish at the offensive zone.
Can't lie there, a lucky offsides call for the Michigan Wolverines there. Notre Dame having all the momentum. They really could have just, if there wasn't a call there, snuck past and had another shot on net. Creeping back again with what you said on the shots on clock. We have 23 for Michigan and only 3 behind, 20 for Notre Dame.
The back half of this second period for the Wolverines has not yielded the same level of offensive output as they've seen previously. As with 20 seconds to go now, Notre Dame attempting to just keep it safe in their own defensive end. Michael Hage now working to disrupt that mentality. All the same, though, Notre Dame keeping it along the boards with 10 seconds to go, and the Wolverines will have it. Nick Moldenauer in front. He'll attempt a shot right on the doorstep. It won't go. Moldenauer again trying to keep the puck. 2 seconds now. And finally, Michael Mastrodomenico will recover. And we'll head to this third period.
But we might have a little bit of one last fight before we go into the third period here. Ref's really quick to break that one up.
You got to play hard between the whistles, Gabby, but it seems like tonight that's only been a suggestion, not a rule.
No. Completely agree with you there. This has been such an interesting game to interpret with the rest of how Michigan's season has gone, John. I just think in all their other games, they've had that common trend of having a little bit of a slow start. Not necessarily a bad start, to be completely honest, but I just think it's been a little bit lackluster. Not as many shots, not as aggressive or offensive as they want. Pretty good on defense. However, just really not showing out that mentality that they want to have. But really in this game, complete opposite of the whole season, what we've seen so far. Electric start. Coming out with 2 goals first 3 minutes. We've talked about it so much, but it really is. In the second period, some might. Notre Dame, again, same goals, same scenario. Same goals, same scenarios. Just really trying to come in here and have something happen. Really trying to come in here and have something happen. And they're able to push it through with little time on the clock to go.
And just to hammer home your point, Gabby, you know, take out the first minute and a half of this game, and it's a 2-1 lead for Notre Dame.
Exactly. It really is crazy to think about that. Michigan came off strong. Notre Dame might have been caught sleeping a little too comfortable, a little too confident in their performance yesterday, because for the viewers that really didn't watch much of yesterday's game, John was reporting for it, but it was a pretty close game. It was a pretty close game, and it went into overtime. What was that like, John?
It was certainly one of those overtime moments where you just never know who's going to win, right?
You really don't.
3-on-3 maybe potentially could, on paper, advantage a Michigan team that has a whole lot of talent, many draft picks. At the same time, though, with all that space, all that open ice, these are NCAA D1 hockey players. They're more than capable of making things happen. Of course, I think we're allowed to say a bit of a relief when Michigan was able to win it in overtime. That was directing his own shot attempt for a second opportunity. But you were here for the game too, Gabby, last night.
I was in the student section. Confession, I was in the student section. But honestly, a lot of us were really feeling defeated in that student section. A lot of us didn't really, there wasn't much build up to it. I would say in the previous overtime we had against the U.S. National Development Team, for example, that was a huge build up. We were on a power play. We were already having an advantage. We were dominating. We were passing all around them. They looked tired. They looked out of position. A great shot. We all saw that coming. No one really saw that coming yesterday. We were hoping for an overtime win. Again, not sure if we can confess that, but we were hoping for an overtime win. And it really just came out of nowhere. Warner with that huge... If we see something like that today, I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like it's almost like a role reversal of the game we had yesterday. The third period was probably the most explosive and dynamic one. Most goals, most shots, most opportunities. I think we saw that in the first. I don't think the second really even amounted to what we saw in the first. And I'm curious to see what the third will be like, John. What do you think?
We'll have to see what the third period has in store for WCBN Sports. Again, this is John Tondora alongside me, Gabby Miller. You know, we'll have to see. I think the very least we can say, we know there's going to be a little bit of fisticuffs at some point. We know these two teams are hungry. 24 shots to 20 shots in favor of Michigan. 24 to 24. The face-off differential is even at 50% apiece. This is going to be a bit of a hands and knees, claws fight, anything you can do.
I agree. I think if you could put an adjective to it, I think it's going to be scrappy. I don't think it's going to be very...
Back in action here for WCBN Sports. John Tondora alongside Gabby Miller. A 3-2 game that's quickly turned into a fun one here, Gabby, with this third period. What do you expect out of these two teams?
If you were with us before, or if you're tuning in now, just to refresh, we really think we're going to see a lot of grittiness and a lot of scrappiness. Throughout this game, there's been a little bit of a trend, a little bit of breakouts of fighting. I think we're going to see a lot of aggression, a lot of physicality, but I think it's going to be overall a really exciting third period.
Exciting is the word to use whenever these two teams match up. Of course, an overtime victory that we discussed, courtesy of Evan Werner last night. Fireworks set to come out as these two teams take the ice, just over 30 seconds to go. In a battle of wits, Gabby, sometimes it can come down to your best goaltender. We've seen two excellent goalies play here tonight. Wouldn't you agree?
I would completely agree. We have very experienced goaltender here. Owen Say, amazing goaltender. He really shows up, shows out. I haven't seen a bad game from him this season so far. We thought it was a sluggish start for him. Quickly, we're proving he did let 2 goals. Kind of freak goals go behind him, like not totally like skillful or his fault. I just think they were kind of freak accident goals. They snuck by him, but he really does have that. He does have that talent, and I think it's really making an obstacle for the Wolverines. 24 shots on net, only 3 going in. I mean, it shows it's got a little something there.
We'll have to see if that something can prevail as we head into this final period of action for the weekend for the Michigan hockey team, looking to complete a sweep. Meanwhile, for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, trying to avoid what would be 3 consecutive losses early on in their season. Michigan with a face-off win. They've taken it into their offensive zone, but a clearance by Notre Dame. Not for long, though, is Philip Lapointe able to dump it in down low. Chasing after it are Garrett Shifsky and Nick Moldenauer. The puck careening back onto the stick of Luca Fantilli. He'll rip a shot. That won't get through. Blocked away by Hunter Strand. Strand now over to Cole Knuble. Knuble sends it back to Strand. They'll try to take it themselves, but to no avail. Dispossessed at center ice for Josh Ernessy, who dumps it in and will instigate the forecheck himself. Nothing doing, though. Notre Dame bringing it back out to center. Justin Janicki up to Hunter Strand. Strand just a little too much Sazul. Janicki can't corral it, and it'll trickle onto the near side boards. Janicki alongside Strand, battling for it now within 2 feet, and the puck will be chipped up and out of play after the attempted clearance by Josh Ernessy.
A nice little souvenir for the fans here. I definitely think Notre Dame is coming out strong with definitely more force in this third period. We haven't really seen them come off with the upper hand in any of these periods yet. I think it's really showing for them, but Michigan trying to just stop. They're having good stops here, good pokes, really trying to just get the puck and clear it, but really haven't shown an offensive threat here yet.
Exactly. The only overarching thing you can say is just a little bit of madness on the ice.
Of course.
Right,
we
Gabby?
have a half-broken stick that just got cleared a minute ago. So already off to some madness here in the third period, John.
I completely agree. Offensive zone faceoff won by Notre Dame, but unable to be corralled. It'll trickle back out to center ice. That's Ian Murphy now dumping it back in down low. Recollected by Maddox Fleming on the near side boards. Fleming back to Murphy behind the Wolverines' cage. Murphy brings it to the far boards where it'll be collected by Evan Werner. And now a dump by Hunter Haiti. The Wolverines electing to not get new legs. They won't have the opportunity as the puck falls for an icing.
Gonna see some fresh line for the Fighting Irish here. Notre Dame, I mean, both teams obviously capitalizing on using their shifts, trying to keep that energy levels up. I feel like Notre Dame really takes advantage of quick shifts, trying to keep momentum. When they have that momentum, really trying to keep it in their possession.
Keeping momentum and executing on it will be key for Notre Dame going forward.
It will. That's how they capitalize, and they get their 1-goal opportunity. They really just need one to tie it up here. They already have that upper hand coming off that goal, as we were talking about earlier, John. Lining up for another face-off here.
Nick Moldenauer icing the puck will lead to an offensive zone face-off for Notre Dame. Danny Nelson up against Hunter Hage. Hage wins it back to Haiti, who will put it onto the stick of Evan Werner. He can't control it now. Jaden Kerr with a shot from the point. That'll be gloved by Cameron Corpy.
True freshman. Just as you were saying when this beginning of this period started, John, you asked me how I think both the goalies are performing. We know how I feel about Corpy. He's honestly a stud for a freshman. He really has come out with a very impressive stats. He puts out good stats, especially for his youth. But again, he has that experience. USHL has really benefited him, and he really has the confidence. You don't see many freshman athletes across the board in all sports coming into high physicality sports or games or really just competitions with that much confidence and grit and able to really just dominate like he does.
Offensive zone face-off delayed. The referee not liking what he's seeing. He'll put William Whitelaw in for Marcus Stappa, who will chase the puck all the way back to behind the net of Notre Dame. Justin Janicki now receives a big hit by Tanner Rowe. Maybe got away with a little bit of extracurricular leverage right there, courtesy of the elbow. All the same, the Wolverines unable to get it out of their zone just yet.
Janicki and Rowe going at it.
A little bit of jawing by the two as Ethan Edwards will bring it into the offensive zone. He'll fire a shot. It'll fall right behind the net and recovered by Notre Dame. Janicki again, he'll dump it in, elects to get a change, and a fresh set of legs for Notre Dame will come out onto the ice. Luca Fantilli with it now, dumps it off for William Whitelaw. They'll bring it into the offensive zone for the Wolverines. Thomas Daskis unable to corral a pass from behind the net, and now it'll be Tyler Carpenter's turn for a response. Notre Dame turning up the heat now.
Yeah, Carpenter putting on the gas there, showing some great speed. Turning up the heat is the exact term for the Fighting Irish right now. Again, really showing that momentum. They're trying to step it up and try and catch Michigan off guard. I think really that's the best way to come out against these Michigan Wolverines. When you really catch them off guard, they look slow, they look confused, they look a little out of their formation. Generally, they have a really good defensive formation. When you catch them off guard, it's a really big opportunity to get a shot off, and I feel like that's how they've capitalized for their last 2 goals.
Far side dot offensive zone face-off for Notre Dame. They'll lose it, but not before Luca Fantilli will ice the puck for the Wolverines, and we'll do it all over again.
Basically hit rewind 10 seconds back, but we're about to replay that.
16:37 to go here in this third period. 3-2 still your score. Michigan leads.
Michigan still leading in shots here as well, 25-21, but Notre Dame still creeping back up on that shot clock. This is the first time we've seen them really dominating in shots, and not by a lot, actually. Usually it's by double, but right now they're staying content and they're up by 4. Michigan trying to rebuild here.
Wolverines attempting the breakout. It'll be Thomas Daskis. He'll take it himself out to center ice, dumps it in for yet another change. The Wolverines electing to stay fresh here in the midst of what should be an electric final 16 minutes of push. As back out to center ice it'll go. Neither team able to contain any possession. Cole Knuble will dump it in down low. Danny Nelson falls trying to recover it for Notre Dame. TJ Hughes now to his part can't control it either, and it'll race all the way back behind the Notre Dame net. Now up to Brennan Ali. He'll send a tape-to-tape pass intercepted by Jacob Truscott, who loses it, and it'll fall onto Ian Murphy's stick. A shot way high. Cameron Corpy might have deflected it there, but all the same, nothing doing for Notre Dame. Murphy now sends it back to his defenseman. That's Zach Polsinski in Notre Dame's defensive end. Now a pass up to center ice. It'll be onto the stick of Maddox Fleming. He'll fake a pass, a shot saved by Cameron Corpy. And we'll have some discussion here by both teams.
Pretty civil compared to the other things we've seen go on after a whistle call. But seems like both teams still have that aggression level. But Michigan looking a little tired, trying to pick up and keep up with Notre Dame's intensity that they've produced this third period.
So for now, the Wolverines and Fighting Irish playing nice a little bit. the extracurriculars coming off the back of a little bit of an accidental contact between a Fighting Irishman and goaltender Cameron Corpy. That was Ian Murphy who kind of put the shoulder into Corpy a little bit, and we'll have an offensive zone faceoff for Notre Dame. Hunter Strand wins it back to Jaden Kerr. Kerr now at the point, a shot by Paul Fisher. That one will be a save by Cameron Corpy, and another faceoff will be coming your way.
Good reflex by Corpy there. A little bit of a ricochet, but was able to quickly put a glove on it before he was pressured. So good, again, good exposure, good experience by the freshman there. Again, like you were noting, Notre Dame creeping up on shot count. It is now 25-24. Michigan still leading by 1, but hasn't really had another opportunity in a while.
Michigan yet to reestablish that offensive presence that garnered its first 3 goals of the night. As the Wolverines will regain possession in their defensive zone. A tape-to-tape pass intended for Michael Hage won't go. And Paul Fisher with the puck on his stick, the defenseman for Notre Dame, will take it in. He'll fire a short side shot, saved, gloved away by Cameron Corpy. And momentarily out of danger, Marcus Stappa chips it into the neutral zone. Stappa now to Edwards. Edwards tries a pass for LaPointe. That one will just be out of reach, and we'll have an icing all the way back down to the Wolverines' defensive end.
Michigan, every time they're trying to have an offensive opportunity here and trying to really build up on their game, just one little minor mishap or mistake or mishandling of the puck is really just setting them back. Notre Dame is really just on their toes right now, really anticipating well, really trying to stop Michigan's momentum. But honestly, they're really just anticipating, and it's really helping them just stop everything, every opportunity that Michigan has tried to have offensively.
Estapa wins that one back and attempts a pass to Garrett Shifsky. That one will be gloved down by Shifsky for a little bit of control. And the puck will send itself skittering all the way back to the defensive zone. We've got Michael Mastrodomenico of Notre Dame with a little bit of an injury. He'll skate off slowly. In the meantime, the puck in the defensive end for the Wolverines. Garrett Shifsky chasing after it onto the far side boards. It'll be recovered by Danny Nelson back to safety as Marcus Stappa's stick breaks, and he'll have something to say as a shot by Nelson falls up and out of play.
Going back from our predictions earlier, John, we kind of expected a high-intensity third period based on what we've seen in this whole entire game. It's almost a flip-flop of Michigan's regular season games, with having a sluggish first period and then a very intense last two. It's kind of been a very intense first 2 periods, and now we're not seeing as much intensity lately.
Both teams understanding that the game can rest on one shot, one stick. As TJ Hughes wins the draw against Ian Murphy, and the Wolverines will break out into the offensive zone. William Whitelaw chasing the puck now behind the corner. The far side corner, I should say. And we'll have an icing after an attempted clearance by Notre Dame defenseman Ryan Helliwell.
Gonna get in some fresh feet for the Michigan Wolverines. Got another shift.
A chance here now for Michigan to establish something. Offensive zone faceoff up 3-2. They've had some struggles getting an established cycling play here.
I agree, John. I think it's important to note that there also hasn't been much aggression. You've said it was very managed and very in control in this period. We haven't seen any power plays. We haven't seen anything to capitalize off of.
Michigan wins the draw. Nick Moldenauer will take it in behind the cage for the Wolverines. Moldenauer up to Ethan Edwards at the point. Edwards dumps it in back down low. It's recovered by Michael Hage. Hage loses the puck now. It'll go back onto the stick of Rio Mullen, who has to take it out of his own defensive end. Ian Murphy intercepts a pass, and now it's back to center ice for Notre Dame. A tape-to-tape pass intercepted by Rio Mullen. It'll hop over his stick and now be Maddox Fleming's puck working behind the net. Back up to the point to Paul Fisher. He'll fire a pass for Justin Janicki. That one too hot to handle. And Janicki now working it along the far side boards. Maybe a little bit of a trip there, but nothing doing. Blake Biondi with it now at the point. Back to Jaden Kerr. Kerr, he'll attempt a pass to Janicki. Janicki sends a shoveling backhander, won't go. Kerr now with a slap shot saved from the point. Cameron Corpy keeping that one in the chest.
Corpy seemed to get a little bit of contact there by Notre Dame. Gets a little bit of an outbreak by his defensive line. No team likes when their goalie is touched, John.
No, not at all. Certainly, Gabby, it's still, though, as you mentioned in this previous stoppage, as the Wolverines will have a defensive zone draw here on the near side dot. Not as much tension as we thought there'd be. Maybe, maybe not.
I agree. I mean, we both thought, considering in the first minute there was a little bit of a brawl, that there were high energy, high stakes, high tension. We really thought something was going to break out here. Especially in the third, we thought it would build up rather than disintegrate. But right now, it's been very tame.
Intermission talk doing well. The Wolverines win the faceoff. A breakout now. Tanner Rowe attempts a shot. That one will be sticked away from a low percentage angle all the same. Now, Notre Dame with a clearance of their own. That one's going to sky high and into an icing, recovered by Jacob Truscott. And the Wolverines once again will get an opportunity in the offensive zone.
They've been given a lot of blessings with these opportunities in their offensive zone. It's really important to see if they can make something happen here, John. I think their mentality right now is more so holding and maintaining this lead that they have rather than building on it, though, based on the way they've been playing this third period.
Playing a little conservative are the Wolverines. That face-off one back to Ethan Edwards. He'll send it to Phil LaPointe at the point. LaPointe now shovels in a shot. It'll bounce off for Garrett Shifsky, who attempts another one from the far side. That one won't go. Now back behind the net, Thomas Daskis and Shifsky battling for it. Shifsky now takes an odd little shot, unable to regain his feet. Phil LaPointe now battling for it, recovers it, holding it along the far side boards. He'll send one up to the point for Tim Lavelle. Lavelle to Ethan Edwards at the point, and a shot just falls under the pad of Owen Say. No danger.
The Michigan Wolverines, although it wasn't much of a threat for Say. However, that is one of the only offensive threats we have seen them execute during this third period. I think it's important to note, though, that
is won by Notre Dame, and the puck at center ice will go out of play. So Michigan unable to capitalize on that opportunity in the offensive zone. We're back to a little bit of that ping-pong hockey, Gabby, kind of choppy play. Neither team being able to set up on offense. Neither team being able to benefit from a little bit of momentum.
Really just not much happening for either team right now, John, to be completely honest.
11:20 left in this third period. I believe it's been 2 to 3 shots respectively for Michigan and Notre Dame in this period. Not
Correct.
Much action.
Not really. We really were not expecting this.
As back to the game at center ice we go. Axel Kumlin to Michael Mastrodomenico it goes. Now to Michael Mastrodomenico it goes. Now a cross ice pass intercepted by Dakota Reum-Mullen. He'll send one of his own to Jackson Hallam. Hallam, the speedster, has to kick it back to himself, but he'll take it into the neutral zone. Attempts to chip it up and high, but won't go. Michael Mastrodomenico recovers and is tripped by Hallam. And suddenly how the tides of momentum can turn. Notre Dame with a great opportunity here.
I really think it's interesting to see how that momentum shifted. They flipped the switch. They were ready to get something going there, John, just as you were saying. And I think they can build off this offensive opportunity they're going to have in this face-off in their offensive zone. Let's see if Corporate can really block or cancel the noise here.
So a clear tripping call by Hallam puts Notre Dame up 1. The referees with a problem, courtesy of the face-off there, will stay in the offensive zone and reset.
This is a huge opportunity for Notre Dame to capitalize. We were just talking about a few minutes ago how it's been a little bit lackluster of a period. Hasn't been any power plays, hasn't been any opportunity. Really, this gives a huge opportunity for Notre Dame to tie it up. And we see how they come off right after a goal. Michigan doesn't use as much momentum after goals. I think Notre Dame really has a huge chance to step up and keep progressing if they get a shot off here. And, of course, in the net.
Danny Nelson wins it back. Danny Nelson wins it back for Notre Dame to Paul Fisher at the point. He'll send it down low to Cole Knuble. Knuble working it right now on the near side boards. Sticking with it is Knuble. Back behind the net is Blake Biondi. Biondi back to Knuble. Knuble attempting to send it back up to Paul Fisher. Fisher back to Nelson. Nelson on the net front. Sends it to Knuble for a shot. That one patted away by Cameron Corpy. And Justin Janicki losing his feet and giving Michigan the opportunity to clear.
Great defense by the Michigan Wolverines there. Janicki losing his footing, as you said, but really, if he was there, that would have been a huge opportunity for them and hard for the Michigan Wolverines to counter.
Michigan with a little bit of ice luck there, as Justin Janicki will recover it at the point. Now to Paul Fisher. Fisher over to Knuble. Back up to Fisher at the point. He'll attempt a shot. That one high. Saved by Cameron Corpy. Wolverines able to clear it. And with a minute to go in this power play, we'll have a whistle.
A lot against the odds for the Fighting Irish there. We saw a loss of a stick there. We saw some losing of their footing there. It's just really, they're trying everything they can. They look a little exasperated, a little frustrated. It's kind of interesting to see that shift. We've been talking about the Michigan Wolverines express that emotion throughout the game, but now we're seeing the Fighting Irish losing a little bit of their composure as we're just under 10 minutes, over halfway through the third period. They're starting to lose a little bit of hope, it looks like.
9:43 to go and a minute left on the man advantage for Notre Dame. Axel Kumlin will dump it in down low. Jacob Truscott on the far boards, attempts to recover. Now Marcus Stappa grabs it in down low. Jacob Truscott on the far boards, attempts to recover. Now Marcus Stappa grabs it from Truscott and sends it all the way back down the ice. 44 seconds left on this power play for Notre Dame, who will take it from behind their own crease. Kumlin working it himself, sends it on the near side to Brendan Ali. Ali dumps it in down low, chasing after it is Ian Murphy. Murphy up to Strand at the point. Now to Kumlin working it on the far side, down behind the cage to Ali. Over to Fleming. Back behind the cage to Ali. He's looking for Axel Kumlin, but can't connect. Kumlin with his stick raised in the air, looking for a one-timer opportunity. That won't go. And
with
Michigan.
11 seconds before they return to full strength. That is a huge defensive stop for the Wolverines.
And we'll have a whistle here. And a call. Notre Dame gets, I believe, a too many men on the ice penalty.
Wow, that is an interesting shift here. That'll be an interesting momentum boost for the Wolverines. They have 5 seconds before they return to full strength. Let's see if they can make something happen here, John.
8:49 to go, 5 seconds left on what was a man advantage for Notre Dame. Now it'll be Blake Biondi.
Interestingly enough, we really thought something was going to happen for Notre Dame there, and nothing did.
Exactly right, Gabby. Blake Biondi will serve the 2 minutes for Notre Dame, as we'll have 4-on-4 play for all of 5 seconds before it becomes a minute 55 of Michigan on the man advantage. Again, a 1-goal lead here, the thinnest of margins it can get.
Not a lot of leeway, John.
Not at all.
I have to be completely honest, a little bit of an interesting penalty here. Too many men penalties. That's kind of a rare call. Not very often do you see that.
Exactly right. It's also the type of call that head coach for Notre Dame, Jeff Jackson, will hate to see. Beating yourself, especially when you're already on the power play, to put 6 men on the ice has to be a bit of a gut punch here late in this third period.
It does, and I think it expresses a little bit of frustration, a little bit of nervousness. They're a little panicked right now. I feel like out of all the penalties to get here, I feel like that one just shows the exasperation, a little bit of hopelessness here. And like you're saying, coach has got to be punching himself right now, because it's not essentially what he needed right there, especially coming off of having a power play themselves. Huge role reversal back-to-back, especially after not seeing a lot of power plays or just physicality in the beginning of this period. So very interesting development here.
And indeed, that overarching madness that we talked about, perhaps a little bit of mental madness.
Yeah, mental madness, not physical madness.
Not the type you can see on the ice, as TJ Hughes will take it for the Wolverines on the near side dot. That one's won back by center Ian Murphy of Notre Dame. They'll clear it out, but all the same, Michigan now working it behind the net is Hallam and Shifsky. Back up to Hughes at the far point. Hughes holds it, sends it to Ethan Edwards. Edwards back to Hughes. Hughes will keep it himself, back to the point for Edwards. Edwards to the near side. Hage working on the dot. Now a pass attempted for Hughes. He'll shoot, and it'll go out of play. A minute 19 left on this power play for Michigan.
Michigan really stepping up on this power play. They're finally looking like an offensive threat during this third period. We've only seen, what, 1 or 2 shots maybe this third period that were really good attempts or good opportunities for them to capitalize. It's really interesting to see that dynamic shift. They almost are losing that conservative play that they were giving throughout the whole third period, and now they're actually turning up the heat, thinking, what if they have an opportunity? What if they have another fluke goal and it sneaks past our goalie? We really just need to get that fluke goal and it sneaks past our goalie. We really just need to get that bigger leeway here.
Face-off won back by the Wolverines. Couldn't agree more, Gabby. This is crucial here. Tim Lavelle at the point sends it over to William Whitelaw. Whitelaw back to Lavelle at the point. He'll hold, sends a pass for Will Felicio. Felicio attempts a cross-icer to Whitelaw. It won't go. And Tim Lavelle will have to race back to the point to recover. Whitelaw now working, deking behind the net. It goes, and a shot just goes wide. All the way back onto the stick of Will Felicio at the point. An attempted pass for Nick Moldenauer will find its way to Evan Werner. Now Moldenauer at the point. Over to Tim Lavelle. Over to Tim Lavelle. Lavelle at the top of the key. Back to Whitelaw. Whitelaw to Werner. Werner, he'll rip a shot and right onto the numbers. Owen Say is there with the save. 13 seconds to go on the man advantage.
Michigan passing it around pretty well there offensively. However, you've got to admit Notre Dame's defense really standing strong, really keeping good shape and formation there. Really, their positioning was really crucial to not allowing Michigan to have many shots off and opportunities there. The shot they had off wasn't great, and Say easily was able to pick that up.
Michigan now, 13 seconds left to make something happen on this power play. Marcus Estapa will take it against Danny Nelson on the far side dot. Estapa now tied up. Philippe Lapointe attempting to help. It'll trickle back out to the point to Luca Fantilli. Time expiring now on this power play. A shot by Jacob Truscott. That won't go. Behind the net now Estapa has it. And the Wolverines will return to 5-on-5 play. Estapa brings it around to the net front. He'll jam at it. And a save by Owen Say.
Again, interestingly enough, I would have thought right then and there on that play there would have been a little bit of a fight or a breakout or aggression, but really we're not seeing much focus on the mental aggression here or physical aggression. I think it's really just all a lot of focus on really winning this game technically now. I feel like a lot of it was physicality before, but now it's really just coming down to technical and skill.
It seems like whatever was said in the intermission between these two teams actually decreased tempers instead of perhaps increasing them.
Instead of riling them up, I think they told them to chill out.
Danny Nelson now wins the draw, but high pressure from the Wolverines, limiting Notre Dame's ability to get some relief here. Tape-to-tape pass. Finally, it goes into the neutral zone where Paul Fisher will dump it in for the oncoming Cole Knuble. Knuble working at it now with Nelson once more. Back up to the point. A shot gloved away. Unfazed, Cameron Corpy.
Effortlessly scooped up. I think interestingly enough, children of Yost just yelled, somebody hit somebody. So to our point, not a lot of aggression, not a lot of physicality being executed lately. Haven't really had a breakout brawl here.
Offensive zone draw with 6:16 left here. Your score 3-2. Michigan on top of Notre Dame. It'll be Ian Murphy facing off against Marcus Estapa. A tie-up, one back by Murphy. Now a shot by Fisher. That one just wide. Ian Murphy recovers it in the far corner. Murphy sends it even lower to Maddox Fleming. Fleming working alongside Grant Silyanov. Silyanov with it now behind the net. Back up to the point to Zach Polsinski. He attempts a shot. That one won't go. Maddox Fleming now behind the cage. Poking at it is Marcus Estapa. Now finally Dakota Rio-Millen will settle it down and send a pass to Ethan Edwards. Edwards attempts a long clearance, trying to let Evan Werner loose, but it'll be an icing.
Michigan looking a little frazzled trying to defend these face-offs in their defensive zone. We saw a little bit of two players getting tangled up defensively there. And honestly, Edwards looking a little frazzled trying to just pin people against the boards right now. Michigan's looking a little unorganized, a little nervous.
Wolverines bearing the brunt of the thinnest margin in hockey, 3-2. Not a less safe lead you can find. As the Wolverines win that out, their defensive zone draw is recovered by Notre Dame and out of play. So with 5:35 to go, we'll have a neutral zone face-off here. Both teams sort of feeling each other out right now, Gabby. No one able to land that punch.
Really, no. I really think it's just a lot of mental warfare right now and not physical warfare. We're not really seeing high tensions. I think we're just seeing high stress, if anything.
The first team to blink this period might be making the consequential difference.
I agree.
Face-off won by Michigan trickles all the way into the defensive zone of Notre Dame after a dump and chase. Now Notre Dame with a chance to respond. Hunter Strand looking for a free hand. He'll attempt a shot. That one falls just wide. Justin Janicki recovering it now. Pressured by Phil LaPointe. The puck falls onto the stick of Garrett Shifsky on the near side boards. And he'll clear it out of.
Saw a little bit of physical aggression picking up there again. Janicki seems to be a pretty aggressive player for the Fighting Irish here. Really likes to pose that in his skill set. But I think, interestingly enough, it's just been this period has consisted of so many mistakes on both teams, truly. They're not looking as technical and honestly not working as fluid and dynamic as they have been in the past two periods, not connecting as well, trying to really regain that composure on both sides.
Offensive zone draw after an icing is won by Notre Dame. Brennan Ali working it on the near side corner now. Danny Nelson giving him the assist. Cole Knuble finds the puck onto his stick. He'll send one into the opposite corner for Brennan Ali, who takes it out to the point. Ali sends a pass to Danny Nelson, who shoots high just above the cage. Battling on the far side now, Tim Lavelle. After the puck falls out of play, he'll give a shove to Brennan Ali.
Got some shoving going on here all around. Looks like Val and LaPointe were not happy with that.
4:31 now to go here. You'll have to see if Notre Dame elects to pull their goaltender at any point soon. 1 goal lead for Michigan. They've been content thus far to play conservatively.
They have. They stepped it up a little in the last few minutes, regaining their shots lead in total, 31-29. But it will be interesting, like you said, John, to see if Notre Dame does pull their goalie. Do you think they will?
As things stand, I'm sure maybe eventually, but Notre Dame would love to not have to have the
they would love
opportunity,
to not have
right?
to think about that. They have a few minutes before then.
But I think you're exactly right, Gabby. The minutes are waning down now here, and they're going to have to make a change to try and ignite something. Jackson Hallam now on the Wolverines' defensive end. He'll be pressured by Grant Silyanov. Not before Dakota Mullen can attempt to clear it out. That won't go, though. Maddox Fleming providing ample pressure on the freshman, Room Mullen. Working it on the near side boards now are both the Wolverines and the Fighting Irish. Finally, the puck trickles out to center ice where it's picked up by Jackson Hallam. He'll come in, drop it off for TJ Hughes, who rips a shot. A rebound, it won't go. Owen Say standing on his head, doing what must be done in these final minutes. Back out to neutral ice. William Whitelaw will dump it in and get a change for the Wolverines. Back at center ice, Notre Dame goes. Justin Janicki chasing after the dumped puck, courtesy of Blake Biondi. Hunter Strand now collecting it behind the net. He'll have it tipped away by Marcus Stappa, and the Wolverines will clear it once more for an icing, but conservative play they'll be more than happy with, Michigan.
Will. Michigan trying to find that fine line between playing conservatively but also playing offensively and really trying to put on the gas. We see those shifts come in, we see those forwards really exuding a ton of energy, trying to make something happen, but then we see our defense just really trying to clear it and chip it using the boards, really trying to play conservative, as you're saying. And I think it's a smart skill set, except for if Notre Dame here, like they do on this face-off, has a fluky goal.
Danny Nelson up against Marcus Stappa. The Wolverines will win that one back, and out to center ice, Notre Dame will have to start again. Danny Nelson battling alongside Jacob Truscott. Truscott will fling it into his own defensive end for Luca Fantilli, who will send it back up to Josh Ernest, and Owen Say will have to play that puck himself. Say accepts a pass to Cole Knuble. Knuble can't control it alongside Brennan Ali, and the puck skitters out back into the defensive zone for Notre Dame. Notre Dame pass to Ali. Ali takes it himself. Working into the far side boards is Ali. He'll send it around for Cole Knuble. On to the near side now. Cole Knuble attempts to send it back to Fisher, but it's intercepted by Phil Lapointe, and a dump with 2.5 minutes of play left here. Notre Dame is going to have to get something going in these waning moments if they want an opportunity at overtime or beyond. Racing in on the near side now is Justin Janicki. Janicki attempts a backwards pass that won't go. It's intercepted by TJ Hughes and cleared out by Jackson Hallam. 2 minutes to go now. Hunter Strand on the near side works it back to Janicki behind the Wolverines' cage. TJ Hughes pokes it away and retains possession. Notre Dame has pulled their goaltender now. Possessing the puck on the far side is Hughes. He'll attempt to clear it, won't go. Axel Kumlin will recover it for Notre Dame. Ryan Helliwell will grab it at the point. Now over to Strand at the far side. Back up to Helliwell at the point. Helliwell working with it now. He'll hold and send it down low to the near side. Back up to the point to Kumlin, to Helliwell. A shot. That one falls wide. Justin Janicki can't control the rebound. And now the Wolverines with an opportunity. But it won't go. Ethan Edwards takes it back behind his own cage as Tim Lavelle attempts a clearance. That one will be sticked down by Maddox Fleming, but it'll be a high sticking call on Notre Dame.
Lavelle's slow to get up there, but eventually on his feet. We see a lot of toughness and a lot of grit from this kid. We saw yesterday he got absolutely shot with a hard-driven puck to the shin. Was down for a sec, but quickly able to get up and keep playing until his shift, which unfortunately was a while longer, but like to see the toughness from this kid. We're seeing a lot of aggression and sticking it out now. I think we're getting a little bit nerves from both sides. Quick shifts, a lot of just trying to keep fresh and quick movements going.
I completely agree, Gabby. Cole Knuble, your extra skater for the Wolverines. The goalie is still pulled for Notre Dame. We'll have Danny Nelson on Marcus Stoppa, one back by Notre Dame. Cole Knuble in. As the offside arm is up, Brennan Ali was the perpetrator, getting a little too close. Finally, the puck now will trickle onto the stick of Josh Ernest. He can't attempt a shot on net. It's recovered by Kumlin. 1 minute to go now in this game. Paul Fisher will dump it in. 6-on-5 is your play with the goaltender pulled. 3-2 is the lead for the Wolverines. Brennan Ali working at it behind the cage now. The puck trickling back to the stick of Josh Ernest, who will ice it, but a foot race. Oh, the icing will still stand. Garrett Shifsky attempting to beat that one out.
Icing still stands, but wow, was that close. Did not expect them to pull in that quick, but what an interesting foot race we just had there. Michigan trying to play a little bit more physically there. They can capitalize in the offensive zone with little numbers. I think they're going to try to. I mean, they have an open net. What do they have to lose there?
40 seconds to go. We'll have a timeout on the ice. Michigan will call it. Brandon Arado attempting to set up his defense and coach them through what are the final 40 seconds of this game.
What do you think is going on with the talk of the Fighting Irish right now, John?
I think if you're the Fighting Irish, you have to be a little selective here, right? With your goaltender pulled, you can't just be firing willy-nilly. They're going to want to look, and Jeff Jackson is going to want to look for the best shot possible, even if it means passing up a good one for a great one.
I agree. I think for sure Janicki's got to be put back in soon. He has been a really big threat for the Michigan Wolverines to defend today. I think he's a very aggressive, very spontaneous player, which makes him hard to mark, honestly. So I think he would pose a little bit of threat here for the Wolverines.
10 seconds to go in this timeout. Goaltender Cameron Corpy alongside the fifth-year senior Phil Lapointe and Jackson Hallam have heard enough. They're escaping all the way back to their defensive zone already. Joining them are Jacob Truscott and who else but Ethan Edwards with the A on his sweater.
See if the Wolverines can hold down the fort in the remaining 40 seconds of this period.
3 assistant captains and a captain on the ice for the Wolverines. What more can you ask for if you're Brandon Arado? Face-off won by Michigan. Brennan Ali pressuring behind the cage. That one falls back onto the stick of Phil LaPointe after a moment, and the Wolverines have cleared it to neutral ice. 26 seconds left now. Phil LaPointe tips it on front. Chasing after it is Jackson Hallam. He'll have a go, and he'll score! Jackson Hallam, the dagger.
The Ferrari. Wow, you weren't kidding when you said he puts on the gas. Hallam with an absolute lovely finish. It almost looked like the assist, the ricochet assist leading up to that was gonna fall in, but he put on the gas, led up there, and tapped it on in.
4-2 your score with 20 seconds left. That should be all she wrote. The University of Michigan likely achieving its second sweep in as many weekends. Its first series win of this young Big Ten season. And with 14 seconds left, a dump by Hunter Haiti. That will be all she wrote from this Saturday at Yost Ice Arena. 5 seconds to go. Luca Fantilli will dump it in. 2-1. And that's a 4-2 victory for the University of Michigan.
It is, and just like that, Michigan has clinched their first home sweep of the season. They needed that, John. Wow, what a final goal for the Michigan Wolverines. Exciting for them to finally have their first home sweep. They've been tying every series, and they've finally done it, John. What do you have to say?
I think it goes back to the new mentality of these new-look Wolverines. This is something we've talked about, Gabby. Perhaps not the same potent offensive firepower as in years past, with just under 30 seconds to go in that defensive zone face-off, pardon me. Goalie pulled and captains and captain Jacob Truscott, Phil LaPointe, Ethan Edwards. They get it done. It turns into a Jackson Hallam goal, and that's all you can ask for if you're Brandon Arado.
It really is. Nothing better than that. What a fabulous way to end that for the Michigan Wolverines. I thought the conservative way they were playing was how it was going to end. I did not expect for a breakaway with the open net they had.
Again, that's Jackson Hallam on the breakaway, recovers a loose puck and taps in the empty net goal. Your final score from Yost Ice Arena in Ann Arbor, 4-2. Any final thoughts, Gabby?
I think it's really interesting to see how the dynamics of this game were so different from the other game. These dominant shots on net, but not able to put them in. Today they showed out with their shots. During warm-ups, we noted that they were really, really strong in their shots today, and they really performed and executed well, especially in the first 3 minutes, having 2 go in. That is so unlike the Michigan Wolverines. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish also having some really high takeaways from today as well. Owen Say still having a fantastic performance minus the 2 goals. What do you have to say?
I think it's all you can ask for and more if you're the Michigan faithful after perhaps a sour ending to some other contests earlier today. Wolverine hockey able to get it done. Again, that's a 4-2 Michigan victory. They'll have a bye week before heading over to State College to play the Nittany Lions on November 22nd and 23rd. Again, a 4-2 victory for the University of Michigan. For WCBN Sports, this has been John Tondora alongside me, Gabby Miller. Thank you for tuning in with us and listening as Go Blue.